And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
And that guy too.
Yeah, and that guy too.
From a Covey Cove to
Yes,
the
sir.
Oracle Park lights, Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright. Fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us. Breaking down the moments from the wins to
Do a lot,
losses. Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride. Talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants
We know.
till the very end. Let's go, Giants! Yes, yes, yes! Oh! Eric and Glenn breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
And Lou as well.
All right, what's up? Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live here. Do it again. Thanksgiving Day Eve. Again, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving for tomorrow. Hopefully you guys are able to enjoy your time with family and friends, all that good stuff. Let's get right into it. I'm like both Glenn, Lou, big news broke earlier today. Absolutely devastated a starting pitching market. Dylan Cease signs with the Toronto Blue Jays. Listen, Dylan Cease, who's at best the number 3, gets $210 million for 7 years. I talked about it for about a half hour earlier on the show. And again, for those of you who joined me earlier, appreciate it. Glenn, let's start with you, man. What'd you think of this deal?
It was quite a surprise, Eric. He's a great pitcher. I mean, having seen him in person, I've seen him in San Diego, and I've seen him at Oracle Park. I mean, he's a great pitcher, Eric. But the money and it's the leverage. What did he get, 7 years? 7 years, Eric? We're talking about ball players who don't usually come through with the length of a contract. But a pitcher for that length, that is something, I tell you, it's something that's new. It's bold if you were talking about the Giants, because that doesn't exist in San Francisco, Eric. And now I'm hearing rumors, and I know how you hate those rumors and innuendo. You go, we'll see what happens. Yeah. But I'm hearing that they go with a 6-man rotation. They have opened up a spot. They're going to re-sign Scherzer, and they're going to appease the Japanese pitching market by getting a Japanese star pitcher, Eric, a little guy who'll be their number 6. If they do that, then they become the Dodgers of the American League.
Dodgers of the East, period.
Yeah. And you know what else I'm also hearing is, and we'll see if this comes to fruition. I'm just throwing it out there. All I'm hearing now is the Blue Jays are far from done. They're looking at adding that Japanese pitcher. They're going to apparently, the rumors are, they're not too far away now. Matter of days. They're going to sign Bellinger.
Cody.
And what does that do in New York? It opens up a spot for who?
Yeah, Kyle Tucker, maybe.
There you go. That's all the rumors I'm hearing. But this certainly sets an early precedence in Major League Baseball for the contracts we might see. And I said to you in the green room before everybody popped in and Lou wasn't here, I said, Eric, we're going to be, maybe it might just happen in our lifetime. You're going to see guys who are the bench players who are going to be making the $20 million. I mean, the money that is being thrown around now, Eric, I'm the guy who always says they're overpaid. Today's a prime example.
Yeah. Lou, what'd you think of the move?
Well, I wasn't surprised. I think I was more surprised on the years, not the salary. $30 million. You got to remember, starting pitcher, especially with Sonny Gray gone, it's one less pitcher. Now Cease is gone. This free agency, it wasn't like it was stacked. There's not too many starting pitchers out there. And I'm talking starting pitchers that are quality. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, again, Darren Cease might be a 2 or a 3, but there's not much out there. I think what's really nice about Toronto is Toronto for 5 years has been trying to get the top free agent, trying to do whatever it takes. Can't get him. Now they have young stud signed. They're going to sign Bo Bichette. They still have the money, unlike the Giants that said they were going to pay $1 billion to Judge, right? And Ohtani. I don't know where that money's gone. Somehow it just sort of disappeared. And the thing about Toronto, they know they're only a couple things away of hanging the banner. And they're going for it. Why not? Toronto was so close, probably should have won it. All of Canada's behind them. They're going to make sure that last year wasn't a fluke, and they're going to do whatever it takes. And you know what? If I'm a fan of Toronto, and I know Glenn's not a super big fan, but he's a fan, I'd love it. You know what? They're doing it early. They set the market. They could have been in for Sonny Gray. It didn't work out. They get the next guy possible. And you know they're not done yet. Toronto has money. They're hungry, and they're going to do whatever it takes. And what's great now is everyone's talking about Toronto. And usually when you're the team that gets beat in the World Series, you're sort of hush-hush. You know, people don't – I mean, do you remember who the Dodgers beat the year before? I know it was the Yankees, but you wouldn't have known it was the Yankees if it wasn't the Yankees. They're doing whatever it takes to be in the mainstream. And you got to remember, they might have signed Cease because maybe the Yankees wanted Cease. Maybe somebody else in the East wanted Cease. You know, the big rumor was, you know, Boston. All right, well, Sonny Gray's gone. You know what I mean? There's so many guys that they're competing because what Toronto's doing is they're competing against the AL East, the American League, and then the Major League. So sometimes you got to overpay a guy. You know, we saw it's $210 million. We don't know if it's $30 million a year. Maybe it's 20 and then 25. Yeah, it could be deferred. It could be backloaded. Yeah. Here's my question. We know what we need. Would Buster been satisfied if we made a trade for Gray and got Cease? Would that have satisfied the Giants' needs? You know, you just don't know. Yeah. So, again, I thought it was a lot of money. I don't think it's really a lot of money for starting pitching. I think it's just the length of the contract. But you have pitching. If you got someone like Cease, would you rather pay 7 years for $210 million for him, or 7 years, $200 million for someone like our third baseman who can't hit, but he can field? I mean, you know,
yeah, a little. You know what that rings true of, Lou? That is Giants baseball, right? Let's sign him and see what we get. You know what you're going to get from Cease, right? I mean, you got to build stars. You know what the Blue Jays have done, Eric?
And by the way, go ahead.
The Blue Jays, Lou, have shown legitimacy because remember, it was only a year ago. They were the team, a year and a half, 2 years ago, they were the team that was ready to open up the checkbook for Shohei. Yep. Now they're showing a willingness to spend that money and not just keep it in the coffers. They're willing to spend. And again, all the rumors that are going around in the Fan 590 and all over the media in Toronto, if all of the things that they want to do come to fruition, this is a team that's legitimate. They're spending the money and they're building a winner. Why cannot the San Francisco Giants do that for us, Eric?
Well, yeah, I mean, and here's the thing.
And what did I say to you? Maybe you could start. Just answer this, please. Answer this. What did I say to you? I thought it was not to ring my own bell. I said to you, Buster cannot be the last dog at the bowl. We can't allow all these other guys, and then we're scrambling again. Every other year this happens too, Lou. Eric, how many years in a row? We go back a decade. Every year we're going after this guy, and then all of a sudden you got to reroute and come up with a new plan. All of a sudden, we'll take this guy. Well, they got to know their guys, pay them, get the job done. Eric, can't be the last dog at the bowl.
Here's the problem, because it was Dylan Cease who set the market. Normally, right, in the course of things, who's the top pitcher on the market right now? Probably Framber Valdez. He's probably him, and Imai is probably up there. Ranger Suarez is in there too. Hold on. They haven't gotten nothing. This is the issue. They haven't got anything yet. And the issue that I have with Dylan Cease, it is the contract for me because of the type of pitcher that he is. He is being paid as an ace, and he is nowhere close to being an ace. And yes, you do overpay, and I get it. I understand that. But my God, I mean, this is even if it's deferred, which is great, and that's fine. So you may only be paying him maybe $20 million, and look, that's kind of where I think that Dylan Cease needs to be. So, and I think I agree with you, Lou. It's not necessarily the 210 as much it is the if there was a deferred $30 million damn dollars. I mean, this is a lot of money for like I said, a number 3 at the high end.
Hey, Eric, if they would have signed him 4 years for 120, would you have the same reaction?
I would, because that $30 million, that's a lot of money. I mean, granted, the overall scheme of things, it's not, but man, because if you're looking at the
Blake
CBC,
Snell was $36 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm just saying, and you bought up Valdez. Valdez is probably going to be 34, 36. That's maybe why Toronto did it. They didn't want to play someone like Valdez. Hey, 7 years, $250 million, because they also know they got to sign Bichette. Remember, sometimes the signing, it's all about a plan. You know, as we all bring back the Giants, they don't really have a plan or a direction. You know, they're not sure where they're going down the road. Toronto has a plan. As Glenn says, you know what? We don't know. Maybe they wanted Cease because he might be a great teacher for the rookie from last year. They might have wanted Cease because he's proven he could be a solid number 2, number 3. Also, he's come back. You know what I mean? There's so many different qualities. And then I bet you this, I'll mark it. We'll have 4 or 5 more guys signed, 5, 6 years going, God, you know, the Cease deal wasn't as bad as you think.
I know. And you know what, Lou? This got me thinking maybe Toronto was going after one of these big arms and they saw where the price was. And they said, okay, F you, we're going to go for Dylan Cease. Granted, it's going to be a massive overpay, but what all these other guys are asking, you know, there's no way. So we're going to try to act quick, even though it's not maybe the best option, but maybe they didn't want to get left out because of that. But it's weird. It's just.
And they could have been competing. You know, you don't know. They might have been competing against the Yankees. They might have been competing against the Yankees. Maybe. And like someone like the Dodgers for Valdez, right? And Houston. And they realized and saying, you know what, Yankees, you guys want him so bad, we'll take Cease for 30. You guys spend your 42. Now, that might affect, okay, maybe Bellinger can't go back to the Yankees because they've already spent their pile on the pitcher. You know what I mean? There's so many different roads you can go. But, you know, as Glenn's saying, Toronto's doing what they've had. I think the thing about Toronto is they now have pitching where maybe people that they're making Toronto a destination, sort of like how LA right now is a destination with Ohtani and all them. You know, maybe this is part where maybe they signed the guy from Japan. Now they have a pitching staff. Bo Bichette might say, you know what? Why would I leave when you guys already have a great pitching staff and I have a guy who's my age can do it? I'm signing here. You know, we don't know because, you know, you only hear agents and what fans think. But that maybe is what it's all about. Hey, we get, you know, because you got to remember how expensive Bo Bichette's going to be. Okay. So what do we have to do? If we want Bichette, and maybe Bichette is saying, hey, guys, I'm going to think about it. But if you guys get a couple more pitchers and you can pay me this amount, I'll stay. So you get Cease, there's one. You get the Japanese guy, 2. Now, Bichette's going to say, what? You know what? Why would I leave Toronto? I'm comfortable. They're going to give me 8 years, just, you know, 8 years, $300 million. I'm staying. And now guess what? They don't have to worry about anything. The only thing they got to worry about is staying healthy and the trade deadline. And they're the top team in the East.
And the Blue Jays don't even have to talk about what the kind of money that will be done. The Blue Jays are willing to spend the money. So
here's the crazy thing.
And the fear of, oh my God, how much is he going to cost? The Blue Jays are going to just go, we want you. That is the difference between the Giants and these type of teams.
Well,
and I think after this year, making the World Series, after making the World Series, they see their window, Eric. They are aggressive this year. They have a window. They are like, we were cheated. We lost it out.
Crazy?
I mean, we lost. We're in next year.
In 2024, they lost 100 games.
And remember, we did the All-Star. Remember, we did the trade deadline last year, Eric. We did the trade deadline show last year.
They got rid of all the pitchers.
Dave and I were on the show, and I went, how many times did I say we were on for like 8 hours? I said, Eric, Well, there's nothing else coming out of Toronto. They got no pitchers left to trade. They had nothing. And how did they build this in 18 months, Eric? And they may not be finished.
And it may not be finished. And here's
yet I don't even hear, Lou, maybe you're closer. I'm up in Winnipeg right now. I'll be heading home next week. And I got to ask you, are you hearing anything? Is there whispers in the wind? I'm not even hearing any rumors out of San Francisco.
I heard one of the worst things I've heard of the Giants in the last 5 years. The closer role is going to be competition of what we have now. How does that excite me? So we have a guy who's coming off Tommy John, who won't be competing. We have another guy, Eric Miller, who really is just more of a specialty guy. And then we have another guy who, if he doesn't get the first or second out, he's a wreck. So that's who's our bullpen's competing. Because as we spoke about before, and first of all, before I forget, thank you for having me on. Number two, some of these guys in the chat, is Eric and Glenn, is Glenn going to be on? Guys, it's their show. I'm only on because they invite me, and I love being on this show because we're talking ball. Okay, so just make sure, it's Eric and Glenn's show for a reason. This is why
we get on the show beforehand, Lou. We always know you're warming up in the bullpen. We got you warming up in the bullpen, Lou.
I just see guys in the chat, and they're saying stuff, they know who the real people are in the chat. But when I heard they're going to be competing for a closer role, this is – I think the problem is I see Buster saying, hey, the fans deserve better. They deserve a competitive team. So to me, as we talked about the other night, the Giants need starting pitching, bullpen help, and an outfield help. At least two outfielders, maybe two pitchers, and definitely help in the bullpen.
But Lou, is that too much to ask for one off season?
Well, the thing is the Giants seem to be doing this every offseason. Not only are they always just a 500 team, every offseason they talk a big game. It's almost like when you're in high school, you meet a girl and you want to be one of the guys and you talk, oh yeah, this girl's hot, I'm going to get lucky tonight. And then 6 months later, nothing's happened. And that's how the Giants are. It's gotten to the point now where Buster's talking a good game. The Giants are talking a good game, but we're not seeing anything. And it's almost like blind man's bluff. Again, the Devers trade was great. Okay. I loved it. I like him when he comes up. But beside that, I thought last year was sort of a disappointment. Eldridge was a disappointment. Some of the signings was a disappointment. Last year at this time, I'm not even sure what day, I think probably about a week, we were all excited. We signed a shortstop. But when really looked back at it, was he the best? He was the shortstop of the moment, the flavor of the week. We had to do it because this year it's been sort of after the season ended. We went to college again to get a pitcher. To get a manager. His buddies are all college coaches. We're so new now. And what do? We hate teams are doing it. Yeah, I would have loved to get Cease, but since we didn't get Cease, I think what the Giants should do more is, guys, we didn't get Sonny Gray because the Giants were part of the big thing for Sonny Gray, supposedly. The Giants had an opportunity, and I don't know if it was trades or money or whatever, or maybe the trade clause, but we didn't get him. I think what the Giants should do more is, hey, Cease is gone and Gray. Have a press conference. Let the fans know what we're doing. Hey, guys, they weren't part of our situation. We weren't going to go after him, right? And then at least Buster would say, hey, guys, don't worry. We're working on something for the winter meetings. That's fine. But we're always so left out in the cold, And I personally think, the Giants probably wanted Gray, didn't get him. They probably didn't look at Cease because, again, the other thing we're not thinking about with Cease, maybe he doesn't want to be part of the National League West anymore. Maybe. Why not go to Toronto and you're in the East where you're on top of the mountain instead of always competing against the Dodgers? Like the pitcher from Japan, he says, I want to be able to beat the Dodgers. Well, you can talk all you want, but when you're playing for the Padres or the Giants, it's always the Dodgers, right? So maybe him and his guys said, hey, you can go to Toronto, you get out of California, you don't have to worry about the taxes, and you get to be one of the main guys in Toronto from a team that went to the World Series. What do you think? I'm in. And they're going to give you, 7-year deal. Oh my God, I'm in. It's like, how could you say no? But going back to the Giants is, I would like to know, because too many times we hear, oh, we were in it. Like Farhan's old thing. Oh God, we wanted to do the same contract for Ohtani. Hey, come on, Farhan, get your head out of your ass. You never even knew what deferring money was. Okay. You were never going to offer all that money. Same thing with Judge. Even the guy who announced the wrong name, Judge, is coming to San Francisco. That guy's never gotten anything right. So I just think the thing with the Giants is just inform us a little bit more, because it doesn't matter. You can always lie. Hey guys, we were thinking about getting Gray, but he wasn't part of our plans. That's all you got to say. You don't need other teams to know. But same thing with Cease. We didn't really like him because we saw him so much since he was in the National League West. That's fine, Buster. At least we know why we didn't get him or something like that. That's all I'm asking, and it's just one of those things where, we want something. And the problem with Giants fans is we want something to happen so bad that even if somebody signs with somebody else, we're going to be negative. When I saw, hey, we're going to be competing for the closer role. My God, that's like coming back saying, hey, guys, this year we're going to be trying to get close to the third wild card. We've had too much of that. I want to know, oh, my God, sort of how we felt when we made the Devers trade. Guys, we're in first place. We're going to knock out the Dodgers. Bring back the excitement, not the staleness.
And the problem with what you have to say there, Lou, is the fact that if you're going to do it by committee, if you're in a position, the unenviable position of having two guys and you don't know which route to go, and then you say it's going to be by committee or we're going to platoon you or whatever. You got two, real ballers. Problem is committee. What committee? We don't how it's going to be, the worst, usually you say the best guy is going to win. In our situation, it's like whoever stinks the most just isn't going to be, you don't get the role. That's the problem. We don't have quality. How are you going to have by committee when you don't have quality to choose from in that committee?
All right, here we go. Got a few things here.
You not agree with me, Eric? You not agreeing with me?
No, I agree.
And don't forget about Abraham's.
All right.
Abraham
I see it. I'm going to get to it here shortly. Real quick, something to think about. What do you think Scooble's going to get? That guy's probably going to get $500 million. I would not be surprised if you see Scooble next year break $500 million for a starting pitcher. Just going to throw that out there. Okay,
that's crazy.
Here we go. It's going to happen.
Crazy.
What does this mean for the Giants? Look, like I said, I put up this thumbnail and I had everything all ready to go. I was like, are we good to go with signing Imai, trading for Kwan, and signing Devin Williams, right? I would think that's a pretty damn good offseason, right? You're addressing a starting position need. You're addressing a defense in the outfield, which is I'm going to get to here shortly. And you're getting a contact bat in Kwan, and you're getting a closer that you don't have. I think
and a leadoff hitter.
Right. Oh, so yeah. I think you fill a lot of boxes by being able to do that. And look, and I factored him in at about 150. If you're going to pay him $20 million a year, right? Talking about Imai 2021, you would have. And again, I was factoring in the $9 million for Steven Kwan, about $10 million per year for Devin Williams, and then I think I figured in around 20 for Imai per year, somewhere around there. And the Giants would still have about $20 million left over as far as being below the cap. I was like, okay, maybe we did that. Now let's talk about this. I got a feeling that the Tatsuya Imai is going to go through the roof. I don't think he's going to be at 150. I mean, look, you might want to start at $25 million a year at 7 years. You're starting at 175. And is that, and I want to ask you guys, is that something that you're willing to do? Are you willing to go $25 million a year for 7 years for someone who hasn't done it?
I think the Giants will be willing to, because I think they've already set their own precedents. When you hire a manager that comes out of college ranks, who's only won one championship, 23 years, made the playoffs 3 times, and you're willing to go that route, You're already showing me that you're still rolling dice.
But here's
you're
the
hanging
thing.
out at the casino too
You
long.
already have Greg Johnson coming out before the offseason even began saying that the Giants do not want long-term contracts at over 100 million.
But then how
Now,
are you going to compete?
Hold on. And I got to feel Imai could kind of allow you to exceed that if you want to. But the problem is now the price has just went through the roof because of the Dylan Cease deal. So instead of getting him at maybe at 150 million, 6 years, something like that, now we're talking freaking maybe close to 200. I mean, I don't see the Giants going from, I don't want to spend long-term and a lot of money to absolutely breaking open the bank, because guess what's going to happen? Now, what are you going to do? Okay, so you signed a big pitcher. What about your other needs? You ain't got enough money. I'm sorry, but I'm talking specifically to Giants. We all know they got money, but if they don't want to exceed the CBT, it ain't going to get it done if you're going to try to get Imai and then try to sign other guys. Let me get to the super chat. $10. Ibrahim, what's up? To Lou's point, which you made earlier, Buster has preached pitching the defense. Name one huge pitching move Buster has made to back that up. Granted, this is only year 2, but still, that's a good point. Now, there's something I want to bring up. I saw this on Twitter, Codify. Someone linked this to Codify. This is amazing. Said this is the number one most overlooked stat when assessing starting pitchers, the defense behind them. If you can determine defensive strength in a preseason, you will have a leg up. Look at this. This is why you got Boston might be in some trouble. I don't know where they are on defense. They're 13th. Cardinals are number 1. Who did they just trade for? They just got done trading for Sonny Gray, who had the benefit of fantastic defense behind him. So that kind of masks a little bit of how well the pitcher does, because if his defense is playing well, guess what? You're gonna get out of situations. Look where the Giants are. 23rd.
Of course.
23rd in defense last year. That's ass, man. That you ain't getting anything done when you have
23rd in defense. And remember, they winded up, I think they were 15th in pitching. Base stealing,
10th. They're 10th in pitching. Yeah.
Remember, they were number 1 and 2 the whole way. They
Yes.
were, I think, 22nd in stolen base, running the base or stolen bases. And then worse, I think they were number 2 or 3 in strikeouts. That's not a winning formula.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean?
It's not.
We talk about it. It takes 26 guys
Horrible.
to compete. I just think it's now, Eric, here's the other thing. And this is something that, me being a season ticket holder, and I think about, do you want to spend $200 million on a guy unproven in the majors?
That's what I'm saying.
What are you going to do with Ray? Ray has 1 year left.
That's it.
So
Then where do you go?
So Ray next year comes and has another good year. Say he goes.
Oh, he ain't going to
16-4.
extend. He see. If Dylan Cease is getting 30 million, this motherfucker is going to get like 35.
So if that, then you know what you got to think of? Maybe Ray should be on the trading dreadlock, because you can't have both. That's all I'm saying. You got to think.
Fair.
Ray's got 1 more year left. He's a lefty. He's proven. He's probably going to want, hey, if this guy from Japan is getting this much, I'm a former Cy Young myself. I'm finally healthy. I'm winning 16. I want 7 years, 250 months. See, so that's the thing that the Giants got to think of. Do we want to maybe not get this guy and just maybe sign Ray to an extent? You know what I mean? It's one of those things. It's hard.
Yeah, but Lou, we're not the Dodgers. We can't afford to be just giving up pitching and say, well, maybe we'll try another route. Then we'll have to flip the coin. Oh, we're getting lots of hitting, Eric. Lou, but where's our pitching? And they don't have enough right now to begin with. I mean, you're trying to rob the cupboard in that scenario.
And I think I figured out the problem with Derek with Cease. Obviously, in the chat at 822, Maraconda, am I saying his name right?
Patna.
Yeah, I like that guy. He thinks, hey, Eric, you should extend 10 years. I mean, you should get him right now before he hits free agency, because Lou's going to demand 10 years, $270 million. So get it done now, Eric and Glenn.
Eric and Glenn are worse than the Giants, though. We're not opening. Are you opening up the checkbook, Eric?
So I think that might be who's representing Cease. So Mariconda, hey, listen, I do it for the thrill, and these two guys are such great guys. I just do it for enjoyment, but I appreciate it.
Fun.
So yeah,
and that's the most important part is having fun.
We have an ace in the bullpen, unlike the Giants.
But let's talk about this though, guys. I mean, is the realistic ambition, I should say, of signing Imai, has that been dashed? I mean, really, because this Cease contract really changed. And let's not forget who is representing Mr. Young Imai.
Of course.
Scott Boras, who just got Dylan Cease an incredible freaking contract. So
I hope the Giants aren't in the same position as I am sitting with you guys every night. If you and I just sit back, take a deep breath, and go, what's the direction? I don't even know anymore.
I can't look.
I don't even know. Nothing would surprise me that they do get, and nothing would surprise me they don't get. Eric.
I said this in the show earlier today. We can all sit here and pontificate and make predictions here and there. But in the bigger scheme of things, guess what? We don't know what the hell's going on because nobody saw Dylan Cease signing for the Toronto Blue Jays for 7 years, 210. It just tells you don't know what these organizations are going to do. We have absolutely no idea. And look, it's just going to make it difficult. And the reason why it makes me frustrated as a Giants fan is when you have the ownership come out in the beginning of the offseason and say these things such as we don't want to spend a lot of money on starting pitching. I understand that maybe don't go out and say it because now look where we're at. What are you going to do? I mean,
amateur hour, Eric.
The Giants have numerous holes to fill. At the minimum, they have 3 that they have to fill. 3. And how are you going to fit that? If you're going to, quote unquote, drop the bag for freaking Imai, well, what's that leave for your outfielder and for your closer? And I don't want to hear this closer by committee bullshit because that ain't going to work. That ain't going to work.
We don't have enough starting pitching. We don't have a bullpen anymore. We got weaknesses all over the diamond. That's why I don't know, man. We could legitimately, Eric, if this unravels, we could be worse again. We're taking backward steps every year.
Well, it's not. Well, we can't say it's backwards. The problem is the market is being set by others.
But it is back. Well, when you look at our lineup, at least last year we entered the season, Eric. We had a closer. We had a closer whether you liked him or not. We had a closer. We gave him away. We now we don't have a closer by committee. What are we going to go back to like 2 seasons ago? We're going to just be throwing guys out there. Like remember the bullpen games? We didn't even have a starting staff. At least we got a couple of starters right now. But we got so many. I mean, Buster's only got so many fingers. He's trying to plug the dam from it's too many leaks.
We're in a tough way. That's a fact. We're in difficult situations because you've got an organization who don't want to spin. Let's talk about it. They don't want to spin like the Dodgers. They don't want to spin like the Toronto Blue Jays, which is just, I mean, this is incredible. Toronto Blue Jays, they're turning a corner here. They're doing things that they've never done before in the past, which is spend a lot of money. And the upcoming labor dispute that's going to happen, it didn't matter to them. They're going out there and they're just going to still spend. So, hey, I kudos to, hey, I'll tell you what, if you're a fan of the Toronto Blue Jays, I commend you. You guys got an organization who is willing to walk the walk and not just talk the talk. And again, it's not always about spending money, but there is a time and a place where sometimes you have to do that. Because if your current farm system isn't where it needs to be, well, then you got to, if you want to compete, you got to spend, unless you just want to be mediocre. So, oh man, I tell you, it's.
And then Eric,
the Dodgers aren't done.
We keep talking about the team on the field right now. You just hit another look. I often say the Dodgers, these teams, even the guys like the Marlins and Tampa Bay. Why are their farm systems designed that they can trade players to try to get better? We don't even have guys. What do we have, guys? What do we have? Where's our legitimacy? A great answer. Well, don't all answer at once.
I can't answer that.
We invented garlic fries, and we got a great ballpark.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. I think, a couple of times I've said it, there's not too many guys on our team that would actually be on other teams. If you really take maybe the top 5 Giants away, no, they wouldn't be starting on other teams. That's the problem. I think the thing about Toronto, too, we're missing out in is they did make it to the World Series. Them making to the World Series, they probably went from 18,000 season ticket holders to probably 35. So right then and there, before the season started, they're going to average 35 to 40,000. The thing about the Dodgers is they did 4 million. Remember, there's only 81 games. They did 4 million. They redid their whole stadium. Their prices went up, and they still did 4 million because of the product. Toronto doesn't have to worry about money because they've always had it in the bank sitting. They couldn't spend it. Now they got a team that's probably the number 1 or 2 in the East. They got it. They're going to make Rogers Center a destination for fans and opponents where it's going to be rocking. They're going to almost make it like when you watch a playoff game, but they're going to make it like every game like that, where the difference is when you go to a Giants game, you see the Jung-Hoo Lee idiots with the banners on their head and everything. You go to Wrigley Field.
That's harsh, Lou. That's harsh.
And then you go to Wrigley Field, they're just having fun making the beer snake, okay? Place isn't going crazy. The only fun part is when the game's over, they sing the song. Toronto, they're going to make it just a rocking atmosphere. They're going to make it crazy. Just the same thing, where they're going to make it a destination when teams go in, they go, oh my God, it's a Tuesday, it's Canada Day, and the place is sold out. Well, you better get a lead. And, Toronto's got it because 2 things. We're talking about Cease, but we're not talking about when they signed Bichette, they got 2 young studs. Okay. You bring in veterans to help the studs. They have a pitching young stud. They have offense stud. They got a manager that is a player's manager, lets them play. The thing with the Giants, we have a great stadium. Okay. But I'm sick and tired of that. I want a product on the field. And the other thing is we have a manager. We have no clue how this guy is going to be. We don't know how he's going to work the bullpen. We just found out today that we don't have a closer. Right now, we're probably going to have Glenn's favorite player, Gilbert, in right field. Yeah. And it's like, we're just, again, we're very, what would be the right definition? Very blurry, opaque.
That's fair.
A lot of things.
Bland. Opaque. I like it.
You know what, Lou? Last year, you hit a lot of, why did they have to, it's a lot of red tape to go through Major League Baseball on Canada Day. The Blue Jays play at home. The jerseys are red. The stadium's decked out in red. They got bunting up. It's a big day. How come when I go on the 4th of July and I watch Major League teams in the States play, including the Giants, the lettering, I see the lettering. Oh, yeah, 4th of July, you got a little American flag design in the lettering, where it's just a different product. And, it's all about, I don't go to watch I agree with Lou. I don't go to say, I'm sitting in beautiful Oracle Park. I'm paying to see a product. And the product is just, and it's been for too long. You got to have a favorite player because you can't have, it ain't your favorite team most nights. And last year I was only entertained. Remember we had the intro, Eric? Are you entertained? I was only entertained a couple of nights, and that was just by sheer luck. When a stinker of a game, we won it on that big walk-off grand slam, and then they benched them the next day. I don't figure that. Who knows with this team? But what is it about the San Francisco Giants? They just can't build a team that excites.
Well, let's see what happens. Oh, look, all we could do as fans, all we could do is sit here and wait and see what they do. Let me get to.
Are you excited next year, Lou, to be sitting in those front row seats watching Drew Gilbert?
Let me get to a couple of chats here.
If I have you guys with me, I'll be excited.
Okay, that's different.
I want to get to a couple of chats, and then I want to keep talking about how we're going to improve this roster. Senior goes, I think with them signing Tony Vitello, a guy with no MLB experience, and they know it will take him at least a year to get comfortable. I think it's a 3 to 5 year plan. But here's the problem. There's the problem with that one. Buster Posey last year was instrumental, and I don't know how many they were instrumental in signing, or I should say extending Matt Chapman. He was the one that got it to the finish line. He went out there and got Willie Adames. He went out there and traded for Rafi Devers. Does that seem like is a quote unquote a build for the future? It doesn't. To me, you get those type of players, you want to win now. So I don't understand why would you, again, if you're going to do a rebuild with Vitello, and look, I'm not opposed to a rebuild, but the way that the roster is currently being constructed, again, by Buster Posey, it's win now. Because if you wait 3 to 5 years, Chapman, Adames, and Devers, they're not going to be like where they're at. They're in that time period, in that 3 to 5 years, is going to be where they're going to probably do the most damage, so to speak. After that, not so much. It doesn't make sense. The timeline doesn't make sense for a rebuild at this particular time. If he made different moves, okay, that makes all the sense. And the thing is how does Buster Posey, even if he wants to rebuild now, what is that going to look like to other free agents that would want to come to San Francisco? You just signed Willie Adames and Matt Chapman and Devers, and you're trying to ship them off? Dude, you think it's hard to sign free agents for the San Francisco Giants now? That would absolutely leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth about coming to San Francisco. Because now what did Buster do? You lost trust. And once you lose trust, it's very difficult to get it all back. There's another guy in here. We'll get to this real quick. Kind of in the same line of what we're talking about. Cease is the number 3, got number 1 money. Just got all those starting pitchers marketed a substantial increase. And again, we're going to come back to the Imai. Glenn, do the Giant? Let me ask both Glenn and Lou. I'll ask you, Glenn, first. Okay. Do the Giants sign Imai? Yes or no?
I'm always about going and taking the risk on a pitcher.
But do you think the Giants?
Last year, Sagano might be on ours, right? Who knows, Eric?
He
Sagano, he's only 36 this year, so don't worry about it. But I mean, at the end of the day, the tail of the tape says that the Giants, if anybody's going to go out and sign the unknown, Eric, a little guy, they say he's underweight, he's undersized, he's in a 6-man rotation over there. If there's any team that's going to roll the dice, as I used to say, and I still do, it's the Giants. Why would that surprise me? What about you, Lou? Wouldn't surprise me at all.
I think he's probably going to go to a team we're not even talking about. I could see him maybe going to Detroit. So in case they do make a big trade, they have somebody the fans can get behind. And then, possibly, when they trade Skubal, they get 5 or 6 people. I just think something like that. The thing about the Giants is when you think the Giants, sort of like baseball playoffs, they do something opposite. It's sort of like am I just the flavor of the month? We went through this when we thought we knew who the manager was. It's Nick Hundley, 100%. Everyone. Oh, yeah. Susan.
Everyone.
It's Nick Hundley. Everybody. Yeah. And all of a sudden, boom, he didn't want the job for some reason. Yeah. The one thing the Giants do have over everybody else is I think Buster is very green when it comes to contracts. And Scott can come over and say, Buster, you've done this. Let's get you signed. And Buster might just say, oh, my God, it's Scott Lee. Let's just do it. Because if you look, all the guys we've signed, they've all been Scott guys. Chapman, you know what I mean? Chapman was a horrible thing. This, and then Scott's going to say, this guy's the next Yamamoto. Well, we know he's not the Yamamoto because he wasn't even compared to him. Nobody knows who this guy's been compared to. If the Giants can do anything, I don't think we're getting him. We'll probably get the guy from the KBO.
I think he goes to Toronto, but the one thing it would do, Eric, is create. I don't care. Even if we lose, and I've said it before, people hate it when I say this. And again, Lou and I, we're the older crew here, Lou. I want to watch exciting baseball. If we don't win and I go home and go, holy shit, what a game. That was an exciting game. I can live with that. But right now, I don't see enough excitement. I just want to bring in players who play with a little excitement, a little enthusiasm, a little pizzazz to this lineup. But I do think he's going to go to Toronto. I think Toronto's all in on the big guy.
And I agree.
Big spenders.
And look, this is all 3 of us agree. I don't think he signs with the Giants. If the Dylan Cease deal didn't happen, I think the trade could have, or the signing could have happened. But because of Dylan Cease getting that massive contract, I think it dashed the hopes for the Giants to get.
You think there's a few more greenbacks now, Eric?
I don't.
You think it's setting a precedent? You think today just changed maybe the?
It changed everything. Market? It changed everything. RJ made a good point. If you're going to pay him $200, you got to pay the $25 million. I think it's $25 million posting fee on top of the contract that you get. I don't think the Giants are going to, if it was 150, I could see them maybe, but I don't know, man.
Giants would be like, that's maybe a whole season right
and,
there.
Lima said, or Vince, supposedly Imai wants to, he didn't say he wants the Giants. He just said he wants to beat the Dodgers. And then too many people make that a big thing. It's not a big thing. He knows. Listen to me. He reads the room. He understands. The Dodgers don't need a starting pitching. So what's the best way to get people all riled up for Mr. Imai? I want to beat the Dodgers. You know why? Because the damn near every fan base cannot stand the Los Angeles Dodgers. They can't.
Yeah, so but maybe that just means he's. What do you mean beat the? Maybe that's just proof he'll sign with the Toronto Blue Jays. Why? You don't want to I don't want to beat Shohei and the Dodgers in July. I want to beat them in October, Eric.
Yeah, fair enough. And here's the thing. If the Dodgers, are you telling me that if the Los Angeles Dodgers needed a starting pitcher, do you think Imai would have come out and said, I want to beat the Dodgers? I doubt it. I'm just saying, man, he understands what he's doing here. And it's smart. It's smart on him. He's going to play on the fan bases and, hey, get the excitement going. Oh, he wants to go a Yankee. He wants to be a Giant. He wants to be a Met, whatever. So I don't know, man.
It might not even be him. It might
I don't buy
Scott
into that.
Boras doing his job. It might be all Scott.
And then absolutely 100%, because what does Scott Boras do? He looks after his players, and you got to give him credit. He could care less about the teams. He is going to take care of his players.
Players love him. Teams and fans hate him.
Exactly. You know why? Certain fans do, because they know their team won't fess up the money. So don't be mad at Boras. Be mad at your freaking team that doesn't want to spend.
Yeah, you got to ante up if you want to compete. If you want to compete, if you want to be with, I've always said, you want to be with the big dogs, you got to spend
and
like
look,
the big dogs, Eric.
And don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if we see Zach Gallen, Max Scherzer, Chris Bassett. That's probably the starting pitcher market that the Giants may be looking at. You know why? And I'll tell you, because the Giants got a lot of money that they got to spend elsewhere, not in one person.
And they need
got to
two
spread
pitchers,
it.
not one. They need two.
And that's
Zach Gallen's probably smiling today.
And he might look, and that's another thing. He may be out of reach. He may be getting 6 years, $150 freaking million.
Exactly. This just changed the playing field today.
Exactly. This deal is much bigger, not because of where he went, right? It's because of the contract that he got. I mean, this absolutely just it changed the landscape, and it's whew. And here's another thing.
Go ahead.
Here's another thing. Do the Giants decide to go the trade route? Maybe that's what you're going to have to do. The Giants may have to trade for a pitcher rather than spinning under free agent market. It's going to look, but the thing is, it's going to cost you either way. You got to pick your poison. Pick your poison. Do you want to spend a lot of money in free agents, or do you want to give up prospects to get that pitcher that you want? What do you want to do?
And once you build your team, you start building your team. I don't know, Lou, you agree with me? Once you start building it, like the Blue Jays had nothing at the All-Star break last year. They were a broken down semblance of a team last year. And this year, they went to the World Series. And you see what they're doing now? They're like, okay, it's like a snowball.
They got a taste of it.
It's bigger, and it's packing up, and it packs the stadium. And what's happening is, the Giants, again, no minor league system to talk of, really. I mean, not to sound like, Mr. Debbie Downer all the time, but when I go to the games, Lou, over at Oracle Park, it's just not an exciting team. When you work on a puzzle, you brought the puzzle pieces into the play the other night, Lou. When you put a puzzle together, you got a 9-piece puzzle. All those puzzles have to integrate, and they make a big picture. It's like our roster is made up of pieces from other puzzles and just they don't integrate. It's not a well-oiled machine, Lou. You get a couple of runners, you get the bases loaded, nobody out. Why can't we score runs? It's not built to produce runs.
Yeah.
but we don't have enough pitching to win us the games. So, Lou, this is a broken down system they got right now. And again, I think it all goes down to what we said earlier. One of you brought up, which direction? Is this going to be a team of pitching and a defensive team, which they certainly weren't last year? Whatever way you slice it, we weren't a successful pitching and defense team. And we didn't have the hitting last year. So which direction are they going to take? Because you can't do it all. They're not going to do it all.
No. And I think what's worse, Glenn, is you look at our team right now, and you look at the team that just left the East Bay, the Oakland A's. Who has more exciting going into next year right now? Again,
that hits on what I said earlier, Lou. If you go to the ballpark, we're supposed to. The aura of baseball says the Giants are supposed to win more. I think I get more excitement if they were still over at the Coliseum and I could jump on the old BART, stop at the Coliseum, wander in, see a game. I think I'd be more entertained watching that product. I don't get up to Sacramento to see it. The boys up there.
I'm just saying, but how they had the number 1 and number 3.
But they got comers. Yeah, they're young, coming up team, Lou.
They have a guy in center field who literally will climb the wall and make the most incredible defensive plays.
They got speed.
They use the ballpark to their advantage. They have a starting pitcher who, to tell you the truth, if he pitched for us, would probably be our number 2 pitcher. He doesn't like the small ballpark because it doesn't fit him. But once he got that out of his mind, the guy was a great pitcher. And by the way, they still got him this year and next year, and he's making only $21 million. And people thought that contract was suicide. You signed with the A's 3 years, $63 million. Again, it's one of those things. You're not going to realize how either great this 7-2-10 is until probably 3 or 4 years from now. Same thing with a trade, but every year it's different. I just think with the Giants is, Glenn, you bring it up. When you go to the ballpark, you want to make sure you're going to see something that you've never seen before.
Just want to have fun,
excitement, and again, that ballpark, when we went, it was great because your guy came through, Wilmer, but Wilmer's not going to be there next year. Like we don't even have someone that's been who's going to replace Wilmer next year?
That's a good question, Lou. That's a good question. Who replaces Wilmer? I don't think anybody can replace a Wilmer.
Obviously, but I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff where, we talked about the schedule. When you take the Yankees out opening weekend and the Dodgers out at the end, you can't just keep having giveaways to get fans there. You can't say, hey, we're going to have Bud Light for $9 and then you can't find it there. It's the product on the field. And then I'll use this, and then I'll give it back to Eric. Last year, the 2 most exciting moments, inside the park home run and a grand slam against the Dodgers by a guy who probably shouldn't be the starting catcher, but we have nobody else,
So you got 2 of the most memorable events came from the guy who can't hit.
Can't hit.
Hey, Eric, before you take it over, Eric. Wilhelmina. I got Wilhelmina here. Wilhelmina doesn't like it at this hour of the night either, Eric. But she's going to tell us what we need to get serious, Eric.
What can I say that I haven't already said about bettercreditcards.com? It's a website. You go there to get a better credit card. Okay, that's really probably all I need to say for most of you, but I still have time left, so how about this? At bettercreditcards.com, we have different kinds of credit cards, some with better points and perks, some designed to help you build your credit. Whatever stage of life you happen to be in, we want to help. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Thanks, Wilhelmina. Wilhelmina!
I like Dom Smith. I would love to have Dom Smith come back.
Well, what's a guy like him going to be making, Eric? This is
I don't know. You see, this shouldn't. It shouldn't.
And Dom Smith was so good for us. Why wouldn't the other 25 teams also want a Dom Smith?
Absolutely. And
why would he only stay with us?
Luke, that's going to happen. He's going to go. Someone's going to pay him.
It's all about money now. Nobody has any kind of semblance of what's that word? Be with the team, stay with the team. Everybody just wants the money, Eric. And I posed that question to you in the green room tonight, and I've posed it many a time. Lou, don't you think you would want to go. Let's say, Lou, I pay you $22 million, and at San Francisco, and I say we're trying to build something, Lou. We'd love to have you as a piece of the pie. And Eric goes, 22. I'll give you 44 to come play here in Colorado. Wouldn't you be more inside? Wouldn't you say, no, I want to go and be happy and be rich, not go be sad and be rich? I mean, wait, 22 million. Why does everybody want more and more and more? I can live on $22 million. What is it about players? They always, I love my time in San Francisco. Nobody will ever deny that, but I'm going to go play in Colorado because they offer me a few million more. Who cares?
I tell you know why? Because
I
this is
think
what happens.
these guys nowadays it's all about getting what Glenn has on his finger, the ring.
Yeah, the ring.
You want to have a chance.
They want
to get the
bling.
jewelry. Because it's you know what? Nobody if you make the money and you don't make the playoffs, you're a failure. But when you're a World Series champion, that's what they remember you by.
And here's the thing, Lou, too. And I talked to this to Glenn in the green room. Every year, contracts never go down. Never. Which today's incredible contract is tomorrow's chump change. It always goes up. Every single time. It never drops, ever.
Do you remember when Harper signed and then what's the name, the third baseman for San Diego? 10 years, $300 million. And people said, are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
$300 million, 10-year deal?
Yeah.
And he's been playing now, and now it's a bargain for those guys.
We're just kind of wrapping our mind, Lou, around the Ohtani thing. We're kind of wrapping our mind about what the hell went down there. And I think Eric was right earlier in the show. We're going to start that whole thing over again when it comes to pitchers. There's going to be the pitcher. We got Skeens. We got Scooble. Somebody is going to set the new precedents for pitchers, and they're just going to, I think, blow it out of the water.
Absolutely.
10 years, $500 million.
I wonder what Armand thinks about it.
Yeah, there you go. What's up, Armand? Dude, this is nuts.
What's
okay.
up?
Let me ask you this real quick. Fire stove. Yeah, it's not hot. It's
starting to look like the Brady Bunch here.
Hi, Lou.
So,
hey, how are you?
Armand, do you
Nice
guys
to
think,
meet
and I'm going to ask you because I asked Glenn and Lou about this, is the way to get a starting pitcher is a trade now? Is that how you're going to have to do it? I mean, don't get me wrong. People are still going to pay. But teams like the Giants, do you have to, if you don't want to spend the money, you got to have to spend, you got to spend somewhere, whether it's money or prospect.
You have to pick a lane.
Thank you. Yes.
You either give out the contract. I didn't expect these to get this deal, even with the deferrals. Even with the deferrals. But now I got to wonder, did Toronto offer this to Framber? And also another Boris client is Ranger Suarez. So think about this. Cease, Ranger, and Imai. Three Boris clients.
Of course.
And a few months ago, I saw a tweet that Boris has like 70% of the free agent class.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So
it's the way it is.
Now, did Boris, because he's in on this, he's like, should I give this to Ranger or should I give this to Cease? He probably thought, if Cease takes this jacks up Ranger's price more.
Absolutely.
In other words, you're giving it to everybody else.
Instead, like if Ranger took it, it probably ups Framber. And
yeah, 100%.
Cease.
Now it helps everybody.
It helps everybody.
It does.
Imai, because he's 27 years old. Now I could see 8 years, $200 million. Plus you have the posting.
I've come up with the greatest, Eric. I've come up with a few dandies on this show over the course of a year, dude. I've come up with some beauties. I have come up with you know who should be running our team? Scott Boras. Scott Boras has proven time and time again. He knows how to get the deals done, Eric. Get him on our side of the fence and let him build our team.
You know what? No, because the thing is, he likes to take ownership's money to give it to his players. That's the difference.
Yeah, but if he does a hell of a job as he is now being a GM, man. Don't you agree, Armand? I'm sure Eric and Lou do with this comment. One of the problems I think the Giants have is when it comes to spending money, we're always going out there, Eric, aren't we? We're trying to find guys and spend money. Over the last decade, Eric, how many guys have we've had them and didn't invest in them? A la Gosman. And
Gosman, I saw that.
We've had a lot of guys, Armand, that were right here. All you had to do was pay them. No, we're not going to pay you. We'll try to find a replacement. Replacements aren't there.
Gosman was the big one right there. That was dumb. They didn't even offer. Look, let's not forget they didn't even offer a contract.
No, he was on foul territory.
Anybody they screwed around. I'll never get over, and it wasn't a big name, but in all of business, whether it's baseball or anything else, they screwed J.D. Davis over peanuts, Eric. Peanuts. It's probably what they kind of sucked.
He wound up sucking anyways.
That's why this product is lame. Lou, I just thought, you were talking about all the excitement we don't see. We had the walk-off and the grand slam, both from our catcher last year. You know what the most exciting? Lou, I'm not exaggerating here either. I'm getting all wound up tonight. It took 4 of you to do it. Lou, you know what the most exciting thing for me was last year at the ballpark?
The Little League World Series homer by the Giants, the Little League inside the park homer.
And you'll remember this day because I think you were there. It was the day they brought Crazy Crab in for the retirement ceremony.
The greatest mascot in the world when he was
that got me so fired up. He was running around and high-fiving. He's the best mascot in baseball that isn't.
I loved him. I even threw a few beers at him. Yeah, he actually was with Lucille's girl, and he was making out with
up in the what was it, section 200? A little hanky-panky in the 200 section.
I mean, that's depressing when we're talking about mascots. There you go. So now we have three great teams from last year.
Isn't that a sad thing when that was the most exciting thing?
Come on. Hey, the Giants had a hell of a run there in the summer. Come on, let's not forget about that.
Oh, yeah. I was sitting in the airport watching the game in Miami. Chicago. I was watching this.
Get swept at home.
Come on, man. We were on
the cusp, Eric.
We were on this No, we were on the cusp. And it fell apart.
For what?
Of getting into a wild card, man.
Lottie,
we were on the cusp.
Oh, you know what that deserves?
Hey, you got to get what you can get, man. Come on.
No way. You were on this show a year ago saying, I'm not settling for no wild card.
Hey, I get it. But that's all we had given to us. That's it. You got to make the best of it.
Oh, I'm happy.
Look, no. You want to go out there and win, but I'm just saying that those 3 weeks worth of baseball was pretty exciting. And let's not forget, it started when we all attended a baseball game. Don't forget about that, remember?
That's true. It was us.
Let's not forget.
It was us.
That's what started it all, man.
Who brought that whole thing together?
The Giants went on an absolute tear, and it was, and there you go. Aaron is talking about it. Started at Long Bridge Pizza. That was awesome. See, Aaron remembers.
They did start off 12-4. Wasn't that our high point? And then here's the other thing.
Thank God, Lou. Thank God.
Yeah. Eric, you brought this up the other day. We're talking, hey, look at those guys. You're talking about 3 teams that are going to be better that we got to compete with. Atlanta is going to be better next year.
New York.
Arizona, I think, is going to be better. And I think Cincinnati Reds are going to be better.
They probably will.
You got last year, it was like 4 teams competing for maybe 2 wild cards. Now we're going to have 8. And, you got to remember these other teams. That's why I think it's so important for Buster in 2 weeks when he goes to the general manager's meeting. If he doesn't do anything, the teams we're competing against, we got to make sure they're not doing anything. And they're staying stagnant. But they are. I think the Reds are going to be doing something, they say. I think, Atlanta might not be done yet. You got, Arizona, who's young. They got my. It's scary because
I agree with Lou with Atlanta. I don't trust Cincinnati, especially the end of their season presser. Their Pobo came out and said their payroll's staying the same. So I don't see them making anything if their payroll's staying the same.
You got to remember they do have a better manager than us. So I think sometimes managers worth 5 wins. But I'm just saying, we just think because really all we've done is we picked up a couple crumbs. We got a guy named TV that we're hoping is going to be in color and can change, sort of some of the mechanisms. But we still have a lot of the big problems. Our outfielder, we have a right fielder that wouldn't be starting anywhere else in the majors. We have a left fielder that mentally, I don't think he's all there half the time. He can't run the bases. And Melvin only played him because we had nobody else, which I thought was horrible leadership. We're just hoping Webb's going to be as solid as next year. We're hoping Ray stays solid, and then we're going to have to just work through stuff. We just need Buster to do something for 2 reasons. to get the fans happy and make sure Eric doesn't get gray hair coming on every night and frustrated. So
you know what, Armand? I talk about the games that I loved, and I tell you, I'm being in all legitimacy. I loved that game when they had Crazy Crab should be there every night, Eric. He should be. That guy, whoever plays, I mean, you know what I mean. Crazy Crab is the best mascot that isn't. And I don't know why he's not running around getting people fired, because he got me fired up every time he's up the ballpark. And Armand, you know, it was so bad in San Francisco last year that I had more fun staying home playing Where's Waldo and watching. You see Eric? Can you see Eric in there? He's peeking. I was taking pictures of the TV all night trying to catch Eric, and there I caught Eric. He's in the bottom corner with his SF gold hat on there.
And I
kept texting him. I go, the one game I don't go to, and you're there. I said, there's a guy with a Detroit Tiger hat right behind you. He goes, nope, there isn't. But on TV, it looked like I thought that was a blue. That looks more like
it's a blue SF,
blue San Diego hat. Terrible.
Yeah, and then Lou is right next to me. All you see is our eyes from our eyes up.
Lou's there. And, looks like
that blue hat's probably the Father's Day hat
next to you. Who's that? That looks like
that blue hat's probably the Father's Day hat that MLB puts out every year for
it could be
Father's Day.
I like the kids' hat better. Anyway,
hey, Glenn, you brought up a great point earlier. That baseball doesn't do anything where Canada has their Canada Day and everything. They do something for Mother's Day. They have the pink bats, they have the pink gloves, which is great. And it's more, breast awareness, all that stuff. And then they have that one weekend where everyone wears the crazy cleats that they donate. But that's it.
Oh, yeah.
They don't really do anything. And, it's sort of the same thing. Like
Blue Jays do it right.
It's like this year, in Philadelphia is the All-Star game. We're going to be turning 250, right? If you guys remember growing up, the All-Star game used to be awesome. It was so fun to see. You always wanted the National League. You were hoping the giant guy doesn't go up and strike out like Bob Brenly on 3 pitches or Ali Hammaker giving up a grand slam. But it was sort of our tradition. Now the All-Star game, I watch more of the home run hitting contests in the game itself because it doesn't mean anything.
And that's going to be on Netflix this year.
That's right.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Netflix is getting into it.
Here's Willie Adames just heading into the offseason, Eric. He's talking to Ramos. I caught this. I can't play the audio. I'm sworn to secrecy. But he's talking to Ramos going, what the hell is he going to do this offseason? What is he doing? And Ramos is going, I don't know.
That was fun. I'm telling you, that was a lot of fun. Armand, I didn't get a chance to ask you this. Imai, where does he go?
I think the Mets pay for him.
You think the Mets will pay for him? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with the Mets spending?
Because he's 27 years old.
Yeah, but the end of the contract, if it's an 8-year contract, does it matter?
He's 34 years old. We were in on Yamamoto, and he was 25. So we offered him the deal. He signed with the Dodgers. He took it back to the Dodgers and told the Dodgers, you match this, I sign with you. He would if the Dodgers didn't match that, he's a Met, Yamamoto.
Interesting. Okay. Imai to the Mets.
I'm going to say 8 years, 200, and I'm going to say a $40 million.
Can I ask you this question? Where do you compare Imai with Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto, and Roki Sasaki? Where do you combine? Where do you put him? Where do you put him at the bottom or towards the top out of all those 3 pitchers?
I think him and Roki are close. Okay. I think Yamamoto and Ohtani blow him out of the water.
Are you concerned about his size? He's not built like a starting pitcher.
But
he's like 160. That's it.
But we've seen pitchers that
neither was Timmy, but I would never.
Pedro Martinez wasn't that built.
But here's the thing, Timmy, it was all about his pitching motion. They said the way he delivered the ball was like someone who is 6'6" because he gets so much stretch.
I pissed off Lou bailed. Sorry, Lou.
Imai is exactly the opposite. He has a very short and compact windup. So I don't know. We'll find out.
Maybe that's why he fits the deal with the Giants, Eric, because that'll be our new Giants baseball. You just don't know.
So
and that's the problem. We got a lot of I don't knows.
I did watch a show earlier, Eric,
Thank you.
I did watch your early one, and you brought up Kikuchi. He signed for 3 years, but he got $21 million a year because it basically was the qualifying offer from last year.
Yes.
Because this year's qualifying offer is 22 million.
22.
So if you look at it, you pay. Would you rather pay Dylan Cease, who with the report of the deferrals, his expected AAV is going to be 26 million instead of 30 million?
That's still high.
Or would you rather pay Imai at 25 million?
Do you notice something about the deferrals, though, guys? We're only talking about a couple of deferrals so far. You notice a trend already.
You got
the players that are signing the deferrals are going to teams they think they can win at.
That's fair. And that's fair, right? That makes sense. And but the thing is, you're going to get paid. You may not get paid right now, but you're going to get. And look, where are you going to get majority of your money? Well, not majority. Where are you going to get a lot of your money? After you're done freaking playing baseball, you're going to be freaking drinking Mai Tais on the beach. And guess what? You're going to get free money coming into your bank
every Friday. Look at your account. Whoa.
Yeah, I just got paid. Holy shit. Look at this. I didn't do a damn thing.
Ask Barry. Ask Bonilla. Ask Bobby there.
The one person I do think this is going to hurt is Zach Gallen. Because I read when the qualifying offers came out and the ones that accepted, the ones that declined, I saw a list of like where the picks go for if another team signs them. Zach Gallen, if you sign him, you're giving up a first-round pick. And in this day and age, teams, hoard their prospects, they hoard their picks. They're very, maybe the exception of the Dodgers, whatever. Zach Gallen might get the Nick Pivetta treatment, where he might be out on the market in spring training.
Think so? Maybe.
I
got a feeling he's going to get a payday.
I think so, too. I think today changed everything.
It just right arm on. Normally the top guy, whether it's Framber, he's the one that sets the market and then everyone goes from there. No, Cease, who is at the bottom, the last guy I thought that was going to sign him, and Michael King. And that's another guy.
I thought they would wait. I thought guys like Cease, King. Well, Amai's coming next week to the States to visit with teams.
So, is he going to do his visits next week, huh?
Remember, December 8th is the winter meetings.
Yeah.
So I could see Michael King and Imai signing day 2 of the winter meetings.
When are you heading back to San Francisco, Glenn?
Next week.
Well, there you go. Go watch that scoreboard, baby. Go watch the scoreboard.
Yeah, that means anything. I told you. Senga was up there for 14 days with his Giants jersey on. And then all of a sudden I go, they blew the light bulbs or something. And he's not there no more. Freaking. And listen, and that was a 5-year deal. The Giants wouldn't accept the 5-year deal. The next day they go talk to the Mets. They sign him for 5 years.
Well, now
and what's the problem with today, Eric?
Where's shopping Senga?
What's it? We're not even talking 5-year contracts anymore. Pitchers getting 6, 7, 8, Eric.
We're talking 7, 8. That's where we're at now.
It's gone bananas.
It's gone topsy-turvy. Because remember, there was a time where pitchers were getting somewhat long contracts. Then people are like, oh, no, let's not do long-term contracts with pitchers. Now we're right back in it again.
I mean, look, last year the Yankees signed Max Fried, 8 years, $218 million.
Yeah, it's
now,
changed.
This year, he's going to make $14.5 million. That's on the payroll.
That's incredible.
But from 2027 to 2032, Max Fried's going to make $31.5 million.
They backloaded
on the luxury tax. On the luxury tax, it's going to be $27.5 million for the whole entire contract. For
Good
Max
news.
Fried.
Lose back. Stop talking about him. He's back.
Oh my God! Again.
Get me fired up, Eric. Give me a little Scooble action tonight. Give me a little Scooble action.
You want scoop? Oh, hold on. Where is it at? Rosemont asked the question.
Oh,
hold on. Where the hell is he?
Leave me hanging. Yeah, leave me hanging.
No. This is good because this is it right here. Because I was going to do this before I play that. He goes, Eric and Glenn, if you had to give Buster and owners a message, what would you tell them? And
what do I tell them? I tell them to go visit bettercreditcards.com. Get some.
As I said before, we're most definitely open to trying to add some arms that we think are going to help us on the starting side.
There you go. Armand, how much money do you think Scooble gets next year, man?
$450.
Oh, I think he gets more than that. I think he does. I would not be surprised.
Well, here's my message to the Detroit Tigers. Wait till you see. They're probably going to wait to see what the trade market happens and what like guys like Joe Ryan get for 2 years of control.
They may trade him.
And then they might decide to trade Scooble because
they just shit their pants. Detroit, they shit their pants when they saw what Cease got.
Yes.
They're going, what?
That's intense, but okay.
And also, what's coming up?
They did.
What's coming up next year? The WBC. Scooble's a part of Team USA. Could you imagine if Scooble? Remember, I had to deal with Edwin Diaz when after a game, jumping up and down. What happens if Scooble
blows out his arm?
Yeah.
That's another problem. You bring over a little pitcher used to a 6-man rotation, Eric. You're always flirting. There's possible disaster written all over that, Eric.
Oh,
the game is different here. High leverage. We got too many guys that you don't think will get hurt. You bring over some, where we look at Roki this year. He lasted like 3 games.
Yamamoto last year was out more than half the season. And
but what do you do? It puts us on that precipice. Do you take the risk or do you play it? Lou, do we play it safe or do we take the risk? I said, were you on the show? No, Lou wasn't in the show. What was my line the other night, Eric? I said, Buster Posey's damned if he does, damned if he don't.
That's a fact. Oh, I don't know. I believe Lou would. I mean, where do you think the Giants go? I mean, I've given some options on where they may try to improve the starting rotation. I don't know. Are we going to see a Scherzer, that type of stuff? I mean,
you know what? Who knows? Maybe we'll have the 2 oldest guys in the league because both will make about 16 to 17 million because they were owed by other teams. I said this the other night. The Giants have been very lucky with Webb. You got to remember this is going to be his 4th year after 200 innings, 200 innings. It's tough. I think it's
it's almost comedic though. It's almost comedic what Lou's saying, guys. But the fact that Lou's talking like that, and earlier he was talking about our closer by committee. Like this is we're on Loon. This is bizarro world here we're talking.
And the problem with the Giants is they say, hey guys, we're going to get one more stick. That's going to be our thing. You have Ray, who came off an injury, 1 year left. What's he going to do? Are they going to sign him or are they going to trade him? Knowing the Giants, it's going to be one of those things with Ray. Well, the Giants are only 5 games out. We're playing Colorado 8 games. So if we go 6-2 against them, so let's not trade him. Or I think, we'll see what Ray can do because since we bought him here at a trade, he'll give us a home discount. And he'll wind up walking because, we've gone through this the last 8 years when the Giants have a pitcher and he has 1 year left. We could have traded many times and we could have prospects now that can be on the major team and we haven't. And I know it just wasn't far on. The Giants are sort of legendary where, we're close instead of saying, you know what, we're out of it. Because they don't want, they don't want to admit to the fans they've given up on the season. They don't want to trade it. It's just one of those things, The other thing too is, last year, Burns, Corbin Burns, he got 2 starts done. He tore his arm. But again, every team has to go through this. But it's sort of funny. I've never seen really the Giants need to take a chance because, as Buster said, the fans deserve it. And I think it's one of those things where this year, I think, tell you the truth, with 2027 being so minute, the Giants have to do something. They can't go into a lockout being, again, not a playoff team and not even 500 because now you're going to have probably good to a half year, almost a whole, because it could get ugly, as they're saying, right? Well, that ballpark is going to be empty again. This year they were happy. They got 2.3 million. The fans showed up, but the product wasn't there. You got to do something, especially with 2027 being very bleak. The Giants need something. We need more than Lee. And I think Buster, as Eric said, it's got to do something drastic to show that, hey, guys, for the fans, I'm there. Maybe trading someone like Lee, where, hey, it's not one of his guys. Lee's not worth it, but maybe you can trade Lee, somebody else to pick up another center fielder or maybe a right fielder. But I think what we got to do is we got to do something. And as Glenn said, don't wait until we're the last at the table, because Buster's proven he can do this. Last year, he got a shortstop 3 days before the winter meetings. He made the trade with Devers, or like the whole major league was shocked. Like most people said, I didn't even know Devers was even on the trade block. So he's proven he can do it. He's got to do it again.
Lou, I actually said the last dog at the bowl because I always picture put the Giants logo up. We're the Chihuahua surrounded by pit bulls. We're like getting the last crumb all the time, and I don't like that. And, I hate to throw, I'll give him credit. Let's put it this way. I'll give credit. To Dan's credit, exactly what you started off that commentary with, Lou. Things would be different if we'd only pick a lane.
Well, here's the thing. Is this on Posey or is this on ownership?
One of the owners, so he gets blamed on both.
Well, the problem is he's not the principal. There's only one guy. There's only one guy that can approve and disapprove, and that's Greg Johnson.
So it's Greg Johnson's fault.
Well,
if you're my GM, Eric, and I want to win, I go, I'm sure Armand has seen this. At least he's got an owner that will go and get him. Go get him. And that's not what that's the one thing that I never hear is go get the guy. Because even the guys we've gone after, even the Correa deal, Eric, they found a way to weasel out of that one too. Like we've never had a legit. They talk about we're in on these guys. Eric, Lou, Armand, as an outsider looking at Giants, we may be in on these guys, but we're never close to closing the deal.
Well, Buster did. That's the difference. Buster did. He got the best shortstop available, and he traded for Devers. So Buster has been able to get some buy-in, but is he going to be able to get buy-in this year because of the way that the market is going? It's different.
Yep. That's it.
Aaron, teams are getting a nice butterball turkeys. Giants are getting a $4.99 Costco rotisserie chickens for Thanksgiving.
Well, you can add the Marlins and the Pirates to the rotisserie chickens. Did you see Ken Rosenthal's report? So there was a report that they said that the Marlins and Pirates were going to spend, and supposedly the Pirates had an offer for Josh Naylor before he signed with Seattle. Well, in a new article, it said the Pirates never made the offer to Josh Naylor. Basically, the Pirates had internal discussions like how we are in a meeting whether or not they should make an offer for Naylor.
Wow.
Hey, Lou, Senior wants your boys back. Bring back the Roger twins.
That's the one thing about the Giants fans. Guys, stop living like it's 2010, 12, and 14. Why do we want the Roger guys back? Did we win when they were with us?
Yep.
Maybe
we get Pablo back 3.0. Pablo 3.0.
I mean, it's just, that's the other thing is if we're not.
He doesn't want to back. He said they traded him. We traded him to get young guys.
Move forward. I'm so sick of these guys. Like, all right, let's forget about Eldridge, but we've all talked about our farm system. Oh, we have these pitchers. We have these guys. Come on.
But there's guys who want him back, Senior. That's the problem. Just the other night, what was it, Monday night show, Lou?
Monday.
Yeah. The chat was we're very open to bring back Rogers. Oh, God. Why do they got – again, does it not fall into place again, Lou? The old saying, the old adage in San Francisco that they fall in love with their players?
I had to deal with that with the Mets this year when we
fall in love with the players.
Yeah, that's right. How did you like Tyler Rogers?
No, it's not even Tyler Rogers. Just like fans love nostalgia. Like Mets fans wanted Jose Iglesias back. I'm like, he had his best season ever. He sucked this year where he went. He didn't even get a major league deal. He got another minor league deal like he did with us. And I'm just like, we had young guys that deserved the chance to play. Like we had Mauricio coming back from injury. We had Vientos, we had Beatty, we had Acuna. Like, if you brought Iglesias, he was blocking those guys. Like, we had to pick either bring back Iglesias or let the kids play. We let the kids play. It didn't pan out. It sucked. It was a failure. But even if we brought back Iglesias, it still would have sucked. It still would have failed.
Okay, last question before we shut this thing down. It's going to be a good one, too. You know how I said the trade market is probably going to get expensive. Armand, do you think trade market, this trickles down to the
Yes.
price of what you're going to have to get for a trade?
Yes.
What's it going to take if the Giants want to trade for a Joe Ryan? Would you straight up? Someone asked about it in the earlier show, and and actually the values match in the baseball trade values of whatever that is. Would you straight up Eldridge for Joe Ryan, for Joe Ryan? Would you do it? Because they're equal in value.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you?
I would. And I'm making Devers my everyday first baseman.
Okay. Lou, would you
If
trade?
you can pick up a starting pitcher, I would always give up a guy who's unproven in the majors. I mean, it's a no doubter. I mean, because we just saw how hard it is to get a pitcher. We just saw it. My God, they're paying for a number 3, 7,
Yes,
210.
correct.
Now you're getting him in what he makes. What I think it's 6 or 8 million.
Yeah,
He's gonna have to
he's
sign
2
him
years
in
of
2
control.
years. Yeah,
2.
I mean, and Eldridge again, he's unproven. All we know is the Giant fanatics, because we haven't had anyone probably since Chili Davis that have come through the system has been good. We're hoping for a guy that last year just didn't impress me. That doesn't mean he might not make it, but I'm just saying it's so hard to get a starting pitcher. You got to do it. You don't even think twice, because the other thing too is with the lockout in 2027, Eldridge might be 3 or 4 years away. We need to win now, as Glenn says. You have 3 big contracts, excluding Lee, for another 6 years. We can't wait 5 years. Kratman's going to be 39 by then. Adames is going to be 37 if that's his real age. You got to do it now. You got to go.
And
Glenn, trade. I would do it.
And you say no, Glenn?
I agree with Insane for, again, these bizarre takes tonight. I got to love them. Insane Sport. Hell no. Eldridge for Joe Ryan. The main reason why I'm not always open to trading them, but I think we can do better than Joe Ryan.
I don't think you can.
Lou, that's Eric's flavor of the week. He's been on this Joe Ryan thing for about 8-9 days.
Because he's good.
Take Skubal and Skeens off the Skeens is not on the trade market. Take Skubal off the trade market. Joe Ryan's probably the best.
Joe Ryan's right behind him. He's the.
But I'm not giving up. I got to get a hell of a lot more.
Why?
You're getting 2 years of Joe Ryan, and you probably could sign him to an extension.
I'm just not giving up on.
Hey, and let's not forget. Hey,
if I'm going to trade him, it's got to be something that wows me. Not. Maybe
Joe Ryan. Maybe it won't be so hard to sign Joe Ryan, because where's Joe Ryan from, Lou? Where's Joe Ryan from?
Oh my God, is he from the goddamn Bay Area? That
he's from San Francisco.
Playing that game again, are we? Time to shut it down, boys. Time to shut it down.
Anyways, before we do this,
cut Eric off.
I tell you what, I'm kind of on the fence, because the price to do business has gone through the roof. Look, we're dealing in some alternate reality right now because of this Dylan Cease. And everybody's value has just went through the roof.
But don't we always say this every offseason?
Yeah. Yes. But this is a little bit different for the simple fact this one was way out of right, Armand. This one was just, it's one thing to go a little bit over, and it's another thing to go 30 million AAV.
Eric, you asked Armand earlier about can we make trades to make the team better, or do we if the free agents? I think the Giants don't even have to look at making a deal right now. They've got the money, just spend it.
Good luck with that. And then again, to end the show, you're gonna have to pick your poison. Said this already. You either gotta shell out the money or give up prospects. Pick it. You gotta pick one.
Well, let's say they do neither, Eric. They do neither.
If you want to make this team better, you gotta do either.
If they got that nice big bank account come spring training next year, I go, Eric, they didn't spend it. You're going to be pissed.
Yeah. No, absolutely. 100%. Let's get the hell out of here. By the way,
San Francisco finished 7th in attendance at 2.9 million.
Yeah, I know. They had a sellout for Crazy Crab Day.
Yeah. And 2.9 probably only 2.4 showed up because I was there some nights. They said 35,000. My God, the upper level wasn't filled.
Totally
That was
agree.
tickets
Nobody in the upper,
sold.
that was just me in the upper level waving down with my binoculars, my military grade binoculars. I was looking for Lou. I said, Lou. Lou couldn't hear me sitting in those luxury seats down with Hey, it's good to have Armand in talking. We were schmoozing. Armand schmoozing SPORTS tonight. I love it. Love when he comes in. And you too,
Hey,
Lou.
guys. And before we get out of here, make sure everybody be safe tomorrow. Turkey Day. Everyone enjoy your time with your family and friends. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No reason to drink and drive.
No reason to.
Can I take the day off too? Honorary day off, Eric.
Well, hey,
sorry.
we don't have a show anyway, so
Thanksgiving
we're good.
Day in Canada is different, so you're not going to be able to celebrate.
I'll wear my red Toronto Blue Jays day and say it's a post-Canada Day celebration. How about that?
We'll be back here on Friday to do it all over again. Will there be more moves happening? I think, who knows?
One question to get you fired up on the way out, Eric. One little tidbit to get you fired up for Thanksgiving. Think about this over your Thanksgiving dinner. If we don't have Major League Baseball next year, and there's a strong possibility, can we handle each other doing like a 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 month off-season Giant Sports Talk Live?
No, there's going to be baseball. It may be delayed, but there's going to be baseball. To be
you
played.
think? Oh, I think. What do you think? Oh, again, this could be another. I think they could miss the season. If they're this far apart, if it seemed to be nasty, Eric, this could.
Hey, the last one was nasty, and it just delayed it a little bit. That's all.
Ruined baseball too. It took people a long time to come back, Eric.
I hear it's not good. Look, there may be a delay, but there's still going to be baseball in 2027.
WBC.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Rah, rah.
All right, guys. Again, happy Thanksgiving to one and all, and we'll be back here Friday.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.